first question for you, Bryan, is why cheat death at all?
Yeah. So I think it's interesting that, like, if you look back through history, some of the greatest minds have tried to figure out the riddle of existence. So let's take Buddha. Buddha was like, okay, I'm observing my existence, and he comes up with ego, death, and reincarnation, and different planes, and the Eightfold Path. Like, he built up this architecture that kind of like explains like what is going on, what we should do about it. And then, Confucius is like, hey, I'm going to explain these patterns of familial relationships, of like how we build our society in China. And Muhammad said, we should submit to God. And Jesus said, I am the Son of God. And Adam Smith said, there's the invisible hand guiding us, and we have these markets and industry. And Karl Marx said, we have class warfare. And America said, we the people. And so throughout history, various individuals and groups have constructed ideas that try to explain existence.
Right.
Like, what do we do? Like, we find ourselves conscious. Like, none of us know like why we're here or like what's going on, but we create these meaning-making games. And so I wondered if in 2024, if you try to crack the meaning of existence, what is it? And this is like, you even go to philosophy, like you go to like French philosophy, where Claude, or
Is it Descartes?
not Descartes, absurdism. Why am I forgetting his name?
Oh, Camus.
Camus, yeah, go to Camus, right?
Yeah.
Camus, like this unbelievably capable mind, he goes to the edge of existence, and he comes up with this really clever framework of like the only question that matters is whether one should commit suicide. Else, if you say no, like everything's just play because like the existence is meaningless. And so, yeah, I think I love your question because like, it really is such an energetic question. How do you solve the riddle of existence right now?
And so the way to do that is by answering, how do we solve death? That's your hypothesis. That's your answer to that.
Yeah, I mean, my answer is that death has always been inevitable.
Inevitable, yes.
Everybody's always died.
Sure.
Now, when you're on a path to die, humans come up with very clever explanations on like what happens when you die. Are you going to be reincarnated? Are you going to heaven?
Right.
Are you going to hell?
Right.
Like what happens? And so we have all these clever constructions. Then some people they say, we don't believe in that stuff, so we're going to go for immortality of deeds. Like on the battlefield, I'm going to fight.
Glory.
I'm going to be so honorable,
Right.
they're going to sing songs about me.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to be so epic in my career that my company's going to live on forever, or a building's going to be named after me, or a university's going to be so people strive for immortality in deed or accomplishment. And so we have all these games built around when death is inevitable. So what happens if death is not inevitable? You have to rebuild the entire construction of society.
Yeah.
Because now none of those things work anymore.
No morals, no virtues, all of them get thrown out of the window immediately.
And that's what I think the question on the riddle of existence is, what happens if we get into a situation where we can begin extending our lifespans to some unknown degree and everything breaks down? And that's one part of it. The other part is the following. Is this okay?
Yeah, this is perfect, yeah.
Okay, cool. So the other part of this is we humans have always been able to model our world with some degree of accuracy because the pace of change has been slow enough where you can say like, when I was going to college, I could say I'm going to study, major in this and then have this kind of profession and do this for some duration of time and then I'm going to retire. Now, like my son who's 19, he has no idea what to do to be relevant in the job force, 2 years from now.
Sure.
And so the future is coming crashing in. And as AI emerges, it's increasingly harder to predict tomorrow and the next day. And so we're basically blind to the future. And we have a situation where the intelligence driving that is improving at a rate that is unfathomable to our own minds. So you have this double whammy where we may not die and we can no longer see anything. And so you basically double clip all of humanity. You take away all of our meaning-making games around death. You take away all of our meaning-making games around knowing and being the authority on knowing because we no longer know. That clips humanity of our reason why we exist. That, I think, is the riddle of existence right now. And that's the one that needs to be solved.
ब्रो, अगर ये सुन के आपको मजा आया किसी भी एंड तक, अगर आप यहाँ तक देख रहे हो तो मजा आया ही, ठीक है? अपने आप से बात मत करो फालतू की. एक काम करो, सब्सक्राइब. ट्रस्ट मी.